Yo, another glorious episode. I'm glad y'all tuned in. Y'all here with me rocking, man. I got a guest this week that is going it's a story behind it, and I'm gonna get to it. But I'm inspired by the brother. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna tell no more. I'm inspired by him. Hip hop today in the world is so prevalent, and I got in my mind one of the top 5 MCs in the world here. You may not have heard of him. If you heard of him, you know what I'm talking about. Give it up for Big Ooh!
What's up, man?
Yes, sir. Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I can't complain, man. Just happy to be here, man. This is dope, bro.
Happy to have you. Happy to have you.
dope.
We got a lot to talk about.
Absolutely,
bro.
man.
I've been knowing this man vaguely for 20 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Like 15, 20 at
sure.
least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if anybody out there know. I started off as a rapper. That was the first thing I did. And I wasn't like, you notice he giggled. I wasn't very good. It wasn't my strong suit. But eventually I found it. But since I was rapping, I'm older than him. Now I got him by like probably 10 years. But when he was rapping at 13, 14, nasty. Like you one of the rare people that you've been nice since you've been rapping.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro.
So what started you rapping initially?
To be honest, always being around music.
Yeah.
My dad played a lot of 70s funk. I tell this story all the time. My dad played like a lot of that Curtis Mayfield, that Roy Ayers, the Isley Brothers, that, you know, that vibe around the house. And then my mom was a little younger than my dad, so with her it was like, I'm an 80s baby, so it was like Phyllis Hyman, Whitney Houston, Anita Baker, Luther Vandross, so that mixture right there. And then once I saw that Biggie video, it was ball game. That Juicy video, it was ball. I said I need parts.
Right.
You know what I mean? But freestyling, seeing those ciphers in the park, seeing the way the girls would react to certain guys that would command those ciphers, and just, you know, that vibe, I knew it drew my attention.
Word. So it was the music and the chicks.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a combination of both. I ain't mad at that.
Yes, sir.
So I know your career intricately because I ain't been around closely, but I've seen it. So the first time I remember you, I believe it was on a Plex tape. Then it was then you got with Drew. This is all locally. We both from Trenton, New Jersey, so that's why I know it. So you know what I mean? I know it.
Yeah.
But when you first was on a mixtape, how did that feel to you?
The mixtape scene, right? For those that don't understand what you mean when you say mixtapes, that was just like I'm here moment. You know what I mean? Because I used to sit on the porch and I used to hear guys ride by playing those Plex mixtapes, playing those Juice mixtapes, those Drew mixtapes, hearing Don Black, you know, Mike Molest on them joints, Goldfingers, and I used to always be like, I gotta get on them joints, But I was a firm believer in waiting my turn. I understood that early on. You know, I was anxious, I was hungry, but I also understood that, you know, when it was my time, it was gonna come. So when I linked with Plex, it was a period of time where we got right to work. But I just understood that, you know, everybody get their ball. I used to go to the studio with Black and just sit in the studio.
Right.
Used to go to the studio with Gold, just sit in the studio, like, you know what I mean, not even record, but as long as I was around the music, I was good. And a lot of artists I tell today, they don't understand that aspect of it, just waiting your turn, you know what I mean?
Right. So what advice would you give to a young artist now? Like, you kind of touched on it in that, but what advice would you give to him in getting in the game now? Because the times is different.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was, you know what I mean? Being in the studio was probably the main thing you wanted to do, to be around it and then build up from there. But what advice would you give him in this landscape?
It's funny because when I came up, it was about most time in the studio, honing your skill, honing your craft, right? But as we got older, we learned that it was the music business. You know what I mean? So now I think the younger artists, they understand, they focus more on the business aspect than the music. It's like the reverse now for this generation.
Right.
When I was coming up, it was more focused on the music. That was the foundation.
Right.
And then we might take a couple L's on the business until we figure it out, but then we'll figure it out.
Right.
Now the younger kids, there's so much information they're privy to. They focus more on the business, and that's why I think a lot of the music lacks that, because the energy is not getting poured into the music, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of money being made, so people compensate money with everything. Like, nah, but he making money.
Right.
It's like, nah, but he making money. It's like, yeah, but it's something missing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
these
right.
people are not going to be around 24 months from now. You know what I mean? So a lot of the artists that I talk to and I work with, one, I tell them be coachable. Everybody got to listen to somebody. None of us know everything. I could learn from you. You could learn from me.
Right.
2, you're going to have to wait your turn. And 3, you're going to have a budget in place.
Right.
because it costs. No matter how talented you are, how dope you are, the hands got, you got to shake those hands. You got to take care of the business, the music business for a reason.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So.
And that's over 15, 20 years of knowledge.
Yeah.
And
a lot of trial and error too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you done put out, matter of fact, you had joints with Gilly, Meek, Kiss.
Yeah.
Did you do a joint with Fat Joe?
Yeah.
Okay, Joe.
Me, Fat Joe, and DJ Drama got a record actually about to drop. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So for anybody out there that's listening, those are all heavyweights in hip hop.
Yeah.
Explain though, like not even the journey, but how a lot of those how y'all connected essentially, because everybody want to connect with them, but it's you have to be a certain level artist, then have a certain level of networking skills to make that happen. How did you get it done?
One, I always was confident in my music. Like I said, going back to my previous statement, I came up where me, Uncle Out, Almighty, DJ Plex, the people I was under, OG Dave, they instilled the importance of the music being the foundation.
Right.
So for years, I honed my skills, different studios, I'm talking about, and locally in Trenton, Quest Studio, Tizzle, Bobby Jones, PJ, my man AP Basement, anywhere you could, Drew Crib and Miller Homes, anywhere where there was a mic in the setup in the town, I recorded that. And I might have 50, 60 records in each spot. You know what I mean? So I focused on the music, the point I'm making. I was a strong believer that if I got in the room and pressed play, I knew it was ball game.
Right.
The hard part was to figure out how to get in the room and get in the position to press play.
Right.
So I tell a lot of the artists also too, I say, recording in town is cool because it's your home court. You get your game up, you get your left hand strong, you get your fadeaway strong, your layup. But you got to take your game on the road to really test your game to see if you really what you think you are.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I tell people, I say, for instance, my man Quest, right? Shout to Quest. He got like probably the biggest studio in the town, right? A lot of artists record with him.
Right.
So I said, go to Quest Crib, record, hone your skills, get comfortable. I said, once you're comfortable in your sound, start moving around. I said, because there's never going to be a time where the door is going to open at Quest Crib and you're not going to know the person coming in after you.
Right.
If I'm recording in New York, if I'm recording in LA, if I'm recording in Miami, the door could swing open. It could be Cardi B coming in after me.
Right.
Because of the atmosphere I'm in,
right?
So long story short, that's how I met Fat Joe. I was recording in Miami at Cool and Dre Studio, right? And we was in there recording. Fat Joe walked in during my session. So when he walked in, he said, "Oh, pardon me, I thought the A room was empty." So you know me, I said, "Oh, no, you ain't got to excuse yourself, bro. Come on in."
Word.
Right? So he hollered at the engineer and left out. So me, just seizing the moment, I jumped up. I said, "Yo, Joe, can I holler at you for a minute?" And he was like, "What's up?" Shout out to my man Rich Player. He was with him too. And I was like, "Yo, listen, it's only a handful of people that's gonna understand my music. You, Jay, Nas, Kiss, them type of guys of that caliber in the hip hop game."
Right.
I said, "If you don't mind, I want to play a couple records from you just to get your feedback, get your opinion." You know what I mean?
You ain't fumble that moment.
Oh yeah, nah.
That take. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you.
Nah, you good.
But bruh, a lot of people fumble that moment.
Yeah,
that moment is quick. Like for y'all out there that don't know, that moment is. You waited another 30 seconds, it probably was over.
Yeah.
But you took advantage of that, and that takes time to get there.
And I'm happy you said that too. It came from all my experience up to that point. Because there was times when I was in the room and I was like, damn, I should have said, or I should have said something to them. So, getting older, getting later in the game and just realizing how much time is of the essence. It's like, yo, if I get around these people, I'm around these people for a reason. I got to capitalize.
That's right.
So long story short, he came back in the room and I started pressing play and it was ball game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just a confirmation as to how I already felt.
Right. What you told him was true. That was right on the money. And for young cats, anybody that, I think you got that from time.
Yeah,
like you've been
exactly.
nice.
Nah, for sure.
But I know there was a time you 5 years in, you ain't making that move.
Yeah.
You're probably overconfident at that point.
Nah,
you know what I mean? But at that point, because you got to humble yourself to go up to another man and say, yo, bro, I need you to listen to this, because in the way you came so real, anybody gonna want to listen to that. Anybody that's real.
And like you said, right, it come with time, it come with experience, it come with trial and error. and it come with a lot of losses, right? So I was blessed to go through a lot of humbling experiences early on. And a lot of my humbling experience was in front of everybody.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
so
we about to get into that. I know what you're talking about.
You got to take them L's, though, because you got to take them L's and you got to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, I got to tighten up. But I tell people all the time, and I say that anybody that knows me know I always say this, everybody can't handle having a moment. And you see that nowadays, like, people get their little moment, and you know what I mean? I don't know if we can curse on this joint, but they show their behinds, man.
You
know what I'm saying?
They show
their ass.
Hell
you know what I'm saying? Because they can't handle having that moment. And I tell people all the time, when you realize that these moments are crack highs, you'll realize and be more mindful of how you treat people while you having these moments and how you handle yourself. You know what I mean?
You said a word, bro.
Yeah.
Man, so let's get to those moments. Because give me two. But I got, if you don't mention one, I'm gonna bring one back. But give me two that in your mind that changed you and like hardened you. You know what I mean? Not hardened you in a bad way, but made you like, all right, I gotta sharpen up here and there, I gotta do this, and made you maybe make a pivot.
106 Park, Freestyle Friday.
Yep.
I remember doing that joint, right? So rest in peace, my man Ya. I remember me, Ya, man, and my man Chrome and my uncle out, we rode up there. So, mind you, I wasn't even old enough to do Freestyle Friday. I went downtown to the pawn shop, got a fake ID, all that, all that. So they was calling me the first time. My phone, we ain't had no minutes on the phone, how that, all that.
Back in the day.
All that, so, we doubled back the next year and went. So the show filmed on Wednesday. I went up there, auditions. They had me battle like 10 people. I was killing everybody. We went up there Wednesday. I won. So when we came back to the town, we already knew we won, but it hadn't aired yet. So when it aired Friday, right, like, since I'm saying we was young, I was young.
Yeah.
It aired Friday, bro, I was just standing on the corner waiting for it to go off. Waiting for everybody, like, to come outside. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just remember, like, every window in the projects going up, like the whole city riding through. Yeah. And it was a high. I was young. It was a high for me. You know what I mean? And I remember during that week, the next week, my uncle was like, my man had like 3 rental cars at the time. He threw me the keys. I got the drop top. I'm riding, I'm having it.
Yeah.
So I'm riding past my uncle on the boulevard. Usually I get out, chop it up with him. I just hit him with the horn and kept it pushing.
Yeah.
So he called me. He like, man, you ready for the next week? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put something together. You know what I'm saying? Feeling myself, caught up in the moment. And then I went up there unprepared and I lost the next week. Right. But I'm saying that was an experience where it was in front of everybody. And I remember a dude on the boulevard was like, my uncle was out there on the porch, and they was talking, and he was like, yeah, man, you see, ooh, my nigga lost. I knew that nigga wasn't going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, they be counting on you to lose. But I tell everybody, that was like that was a super humbling experience. I needed that, though, because I was too far gone. Like, and that's why I said, even with a lot of younger artists I deal with, when they get in their little ways and stuff, I got to tell myself, too, like, you once was them.
Right.
So sometimes, instead of arguing with them, or making it seem like I know everything, I just back off of them. And I let them run head first into the brick wall. And then when they come to their senses, I just be right there to be like, all right, now you ready? You ready to move forward now? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta go through that, bro.
Bro, like, you
gotta go through that.
I know.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta go through that, bro.
I lost on 106 Park and I ain't get no win.
Yeah.
And dog, I was the first one from the town.
Yeah.
And dog,
I remember that too.
I know you remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was riding there. I was in the project riding through.
I remember that.
And he was on the corner and I just, man. All I see was you pointing. You was smiling. I said, I'm not even doing that to myself. I knew what it was. But dog, but you need, like you said.
One thing about you though, bro. One thing about you, because one thing about me, right? I was a student, a fan of this shit, right? Like, you always kept your face in the place. And see, a lot of people, like, I found a Cream magazine clip, right? It was all these artists, and somebody sent it to me on Facebook. And I'm like, damn, it's 50 motherfuckers back here. God bless them. Some of them dead, some of them ain't here. A lot of them, whatever they was doing, they stopped. You on that joint though? Yeah. Still here, bro.
They still going.
Right, wrong, and indifferent. So it's like, it's so much to be said just in that, because people don't realize how hard it is just to keep going. You understand what I'm saying? When life be lifing and, you know what I'm saying, everything be going on, and it'd be so easy for you to be like, you know what, I'm gonna just chill. People that you love come to you like, man, why don't you try to Why don't you try to do? And they don't mean no harm.
They don't mean they think they're doing you
They
good.
think they're doing you a justice, but they're really doing you an injustice because your
Word.
mind made up already.
Word.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I say 106 in Park, and probably when I was signed in Atlanta, and I had a deal in Atlanta, and when I had to turn them keys into that penthouse and come back to the projects, boy, that boy wasn't no worst feeling in the world.
I
You hear
believe
me?
it. I believe
Oh,
it.
my
Penthouse
God.
to the projects.
Oh,
Man,
my
nobody
God.
tells that story.
Woo.
Penthouse, like you hear projects to the penthouse. You don't
Hey,
hear.
yo, let me
like,
tell you something. Man, listen, bro. They said, man, listen, take what you can. I had so much, like, clothes and things like that. They said, take what you can, man. We can't even afford to put you on the flight back.
Oh,
They took me down by Magic City, man, to the bus terminal.
oh, you had to
I
catch
took the bus all the way back to Philly.
Oh, that was how long? 15, 20 hours on a bus with the
20
stops?
hours, it's about 30 hours.
Ooh,
Because now you got to get off every state, grab your bags, and then wait for the next bus to come get on that. Man, you talking about depressing.
Man, they don't get no more depressing than that, bro.
I heard all Donny Hathaway playing the whole way
the
back.
whole time. You made it worse playing Donnie. Donnie Hathaway made you. Oh man.
But I mean, like I said, man, so many times, man, I just, Instagram is the highlights, man. Everybody see the pictures and they see the, they don't see everything that goes into getting to the moments, man,
Nope.
and what you go through, man.
They don't, and that's that again. Why I got so much respect for you because
Yeah, I appreciate
you've
that.
been like MC wise, locally.
Yeah, for
You've
sure.
been at the top tier for 20 plus years.
Yeah,
Know
for
what I mean?
sure.
And dog, people like you said, people don't understand. When you at that level, everybody respects you, but people don't like you.
Nah, for sure.
Know what I mean?
It's crazy, bro.
It is.
It's crazy, and it's like, it's crazy because I be like, for me, I be like, man, I've been hot since I was a kid.
Literally.
You know what I mean? And I tell people that, but not arrogantly, but I'm just like, yo, it just is what it is. I've been in the mix since I was a kid.
Right.
So that's why people like, we live in a world where it's like, I've heard all types of shit. I've heard like, man, that nigga need to get out the way. Let somebody else shine. You know what I mean? And I be like, damn, it's crazy people think like that because I never been the one to block nobody shine. I always been the one to lend a helping hand if I could,
Right.
plug a person if I could. And it's like, yo, to be honest, I don't be doing nothing but just putting in the work. And because we come from a small city, that small mindset runs so concurrent, people don't understand that. They want everything they see as far as like the jewelry, the cars and the parties, and they want everything that comes from the work getting put in, but they don't want to put the work in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I equate like my mindset, like after Kobe died, I really got into Kobe work ethic, like documentary wise. And some people say he was an asshole, but he was serious about playing the game and winning. He dedicated his life to that shit, yo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Brian Davis just told a story. He said when he first got drafted, he went to his crib and was like, "Come on, man, we gonna go out." He said, Kobe was like, "Let me show you the crib." Showed him the master bedroom. He had like a stack of DVDs on the wall. So BD like, damn, bro, like what? It's like, I thought they was like porno DVDs or something.
Right.
He's like, man, that's all game tape. He like, man, let's go to the club. He like, nah, man, that's what I'm doing tonight.
That's a different level of commitment.
Focus though.
Right. That people
They don't see it.
They can't understand it unless
don't
you
see
in
it.
it. Unless you done been on that level at some point or trying to get
To
to
that
it.
level, yeah, you wouldn't understand it.
Nah,
bro.
you wouldn't.
You
So
wouldn't
what?
understand it.
Like, you done had affiliations with Kiss and Fat Joe, and like you had a lot of affiliations with a lot of high-powered people. What's the one thing you learned from those experiences?
Good question.
Thank you. Yeah,
Good
I'm
question.
Shout out to me.
One
'Cause-
thing
go ahead.
I learned, if I'm being honest, expect nothing.
Elaborate on that.
Because a lot of times we expect people to do what we would do. You know what I mean? And that can cause resentment, can cause a lot of issues, cause a lot of turmoil, can cause you to look at a person different. You know what I mean? So I say to anybody, coming to these situations, you get with an artist that's a major artist and further along on the journey than you know what I mean? Absorb the information, make as many contacts as possible, pay attention to everything around you and expect nothing, man.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
hell
Those guys, you just learn that, you know, you don't make money in the industry like this for 25 years for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's a method to the madness, so I pull that from those guys.
Right.
Different little tactics, different little things, but, you know.
Yeah. Like, bro, you said a mouthful because a lot of people just don't understand.
Yeah.
It is. I don't even think it's exclusive to music, entertainment. I think that's life.
No, life period,
You know what I mean? Like, you get to a certain level, you like in the level you at now, bro. You at that. You could touch everything you want, but you ain't there yet.
Yeah.
But you could touch it. Mm-hmm. And for people anybody that's watching, it is hard to be at that level where everybody feel like you made it. Because people don't support you no more. Like that new person that coming up, that 15-year-old that's nice, oh, they gonna love him. But you been, he been there too long.
Hey, yo, that's crazy.
Talk about that experience locally, and then when you leave town, how you see the differences.
People get mad at me, right, because I express the love I get out of town, and they be like, oh man, I be like, oh man, what? Mm-hmm. All my biggest opportunities came from out of towners. Mm-hmm. My support really come from out of towners. Don't get me wrong, I get support home too, but I'm talking about the support, the way you supposed to get that support, treat people the way you supposed to be treated, come from out of town, bro.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I be out of town, bro, people be rolling the red carpet out. You know what I mean? You come home, and because it's you, people try to downplay it, like, oh, that's just. I be like, but that's why too. That's why I made it my business to move out of town. Right. I made it my business to move out of town. I made it my business to be seen less because I realized that they don't appreciate you. They don't appreciate your presence or what you bring to the table when you accessible. When they could just pop up and see you downtown and see you around the way all the time and see you at the barbershop and see you here is messed up. It's like that, but they don't hold no value to what you're doing. Yep. But when they got to see you on the gram and they got to tune into your story to see what your next move is, now they're going to respect you the way, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's sad it's like that though, bro, because I'm a type of person, I like to be hands-on, like, you know what I'm saying? I like to be around the people, but it's just, you can't have it both ways.
Nah, you can't, but only somebody that's on the journey you on would understand that.
Yeah.
What's the next move? Because I've had experiences where I've been in a position where I'm like, everything about to take off, and it don't take off. And it really forced me to be like, I got to start doing my own thing, like taking ownership of my situation. And I know you've been in a situation similar. What's that for you?
Like, what's the next move?
What's the next move, and how you going about moving? Like, not really what your next move is. Yeah. Got you.
Next move for me, is just getting in those rooms where I can press play. As far as just a lot of subsidiary companies out there that I got a project I'm finishing up right now that I'm trying to go get backing for to really do the rollout properly, do my marketing campaign properly, just hired a PR, getting my management situation in order, getting my structure and my team and my business right. You know what I mean? I hate saying what I'm about to do because it's like then it fall through and you be feeling some type of way. Right. I'm just gearing up for whatever God got for me, man. I know it's coming, but I just want to be prepared when it comes.
Right. Getting yourself together as much as
you
my
can ducks in a row.
Now. Yeah. Like, bro, so I ain't got much else, man. Like, I feel like we covered a lot
for sure.
in a short amount of time. Like, I feel like I don't feel like we only been rocking 20 minutes. But no, he gave jewels out the ass, but anything you want to tell the people, like, that's your camera. You look into it. Tell anybody whatever you want to tell them.
I want to send this out to that special.
I'm about to booze up.
Listen, man, I want to tell everybody, man, subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BigOOTV. Follow me on IG at BIGOOH from Vegas. Out now, all DSPs. And just be on the lookout, man. We got a lot of things getting ready to shake. I don't even want to warn you. I just want you to wake up and see it.
We happy to have you, bro. The door is open anytime you want to come back, man.
Sure,
and I say that to everybody, but I mean it for you.
Nah, for sure.
I've said it to everybody that's been on here, and I mean it for y'all too. You want to go through some things. For you, when the project drop, come on through. You know what I mean?
We gotta make this a stop. We gotta make this a stop on the promo run, man.
Please do.
Get a couple artists up here too, for sure.
Before you go, I got something for you.
Oh man,
all right, so we got official Young Vets.
Young Vets. Yeah.
Hold on, you got to put it on, cause dog, you gotta. You ain't got to put it on that. Put it on over top of your hat.
Hey, yeah, you gotta put it on over top of your hat.
It is a big one, bro.
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna put it. I gotta get my cut. I ain't
Oh,
right.
nah, say less. We ain't gonna do you like that.
Nah, this fire though.
But, bro, it fits right.
Young Vet showed me a lot of love too.
Look, Young Vet, shout out to you. Look, sponsor of the show.
Yeah, my guys.
Bang, and then we got. That's
man, it's crazy because I've been waiting on these anyway, man. Shout out to my guy. Yeah, he's supposed to send me some of these joints.
Oh, well, look, see, we all hooked it up. Ginger Blast, Biz, we done hooked him up already, but
Biz, what up, man? For sure. What's up? I like what you're doing here, though, bro. It's dope.
Hey, appreciate it, man. I told you welcome anytime.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see y'all next week. Peace, love.